Welcome back to English Harbor, where we tell you simple stories that touch your heart, stories that help you grow and help you learn English. Today's story is about something very important, your life, and why you must not waste it. He woke up late again. The sun was already high in the sky. The light came through the small window in his room. His bed was messy, his hair was messy, his mind was messy too. This was Jack. Jack was 24 years old, but he did not feel 24. He felt tired. He felt lost. Every day was the same. He stayed up late at night. He watched videos. He played games. Sometimes he just scrolled on his phone. Hours passed. Nothing changed. He lived in his parents' house. His mom made his food. His dad paid the bills. Jack didn't have a job. He said he was still thinking. He said, "I need more time." He always said, "Maybe tomorrow," but tomorrow never came. Jack was not a bad person. He was kind. He was smart. He had big dreams once. When he was a child, he wanted to be a pilot. Later, he wanted to be a writer. He loved to draw. He loved to build things. But slowly, he stopped. He stopped doing the things he loved. He stopped believing in himself. Every day, he told himself, "I'll start tomorrow." And every night, he told himself, "It's too late now." One day, something strange happened. Jack went outside. The sky was blue, the air was warm. He walked to the park near his house. He saw a boy there. The boy was drawing with a stick in the dirt. He was laughing, talking to himself. Jack watched. The boy looked happy, really happy. Jack smiled a little. Then he heard the boy say, "One day I'll build a rocket. I'll fly to space." Jack's smile faded. He remembered. He remembered that little boy. It was him. Years ago, he was that boy, full of dreams, full of hope. But now? Now he just watched. He watched others live. He watched time pass. He sat on a bench, he looked at the sky, and he whispered, "What am I doing with my life?" A woman sat next to him. She looked at Jack. "Are you okay?" she asked. Jack nodded, but his eyes were sad. She smiled gently. "You look like someone who has a heavy heart." Jack didn't answer, but the woman continued. "I lost my husband last year," she said. "He was only 38. He was strong, he was kind, he worked hard every day. And then, one morning, he didn't wake up." Jack looked at her. Her voice was soft, but her words were sharp. "I learned something after that," she said. "Life is short, very short. We don't know how much time we have." Jack nodded slowly. The woman stood up. "Don't waste your life, young man. It's too precious." Then she walked away. Jack sat still. Her words stayed with him. He walked home. His phone buzzed. Messages, videos, notifications, but Jack didn't open them. He sat at his desk. He looked at his old notebook. It was dusty, but inside were old stories, his stories. He opened it. He read the first page. "I want to be a writer," it said. His handwriting was messy, but the words were full of fire. Jack felt something inside, a little spark. He turned the page, and he began to write. He didn't write well, not yet, but he wrote something, a sentence, then another. He wrote for 1 hour, then 2. He forgot about time. That night, he went to bed early, and for the first time in many months, he slept with a smile. The next morning, he woke up early. The sun was still low. The sky was pink and orange. Jack made his bed. He brushed his teeth. He opened the window. The air was fresh. He felt alive. He sat down and wrote again. He didn't check his phone. He didn't turn on the TV. He just wrote. 1 page, 2 pages, 3. Then he went for a walk. He saw the same little boy in the park. The boy was drawing rockets again. Jack smiled. He said, "Keep dreaming, kid." The boy grinned. "I will." Jack walked on. He felt a new feeling, a strange feeling. It was purpose. Every day after that, Jack wrote. He wrote when he felt tired. He wrote when he felt scared. He wrote even when he didn't want to. Some days were hard. Some days he wanted to quit. But he remembered the woman. Every day is a gift. He remembered the boy. "I'll build a rocket." He remembered his younger self. "I want to be a writer." So he kept going. He didn't wait for tomorrow anymore. He used today. One day he shared a story online. Someone read it. They said, "This helped me. Thank you." Jack cried. Not because he was sad, but because he knew. His life was starting again. His story had meaning. He was no longer wasting his days. He was using them. And little by little, Jack changed. He got stronger. He got braver. He found a job at a small library. He helped kids read. He taught them to write. He told them, never stop dreaming. He saved money. He moved into a small apartment. It wasn't big. It wasn't perfect. But it was his. He cooked for himself. He cleaned his room. He took care of his life. He felt proud. Years passed. Jack published a book. Not a big one. Not a famous one. But it was his book. It had his name on it. He showed it to his mom. She cried. He showed it to his dad. He still made mistakes. But he didn't hide anymore. He lived. He lived with purpose. And that made all the difference. Moral for language learners: don't waste your life. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start now. Even small steps matter. Even one word, one page, one try, it matters. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. So read, listen, speak, write, make mistakes, learn from them, use your English, use your voice, use your life, because your life is a story. Make it a good one. Jack was now 27. 3 years had passed since that day in the park, the day the woman spoke to him, the day he chose to change. He still remembered that moment. It lived in his heart like fire. But even with fire inside, life was not always easy. One day, Jack's book got a bad review. Someone online wrote, "This is boring, the writing is weak." Jack read it. Once, then again. He felt something heavy in his chest. "I'm not good enough," he thought. The old voice came back, the voice of fear, the voice that says you're wasting your time. No one cares. He didn't write for 3 days. He told himself, maybe I should stop. Maybe they're right. He sat on his couch, the same couch where he used to waste time. He stared at the wall. Then his phone beeped. A message. It was from a girl named Mina. She had read his book. Her message said, "Thank you. Your story helped me. I was in a dark place, but now I see light again." Jack stared at the message. He read it again and again. Tears filled his eyes. He didn't cry because he was sad. He cried because he remembered. He remembered why he started. It was never about fame, never about money. It was about meaning. That night, he wrote again. Not because he was perfect, but because someone needed his words, and maybe someone still needed him. Weeks passed. He kept working at the library. Every Saturday he met with a group of kids. He taught them how to write stories. One day, a girl named Hannah came up to him. She said, "I want to be a writer like you." Jack smiled. He looked at her notebook. It was full of little stories, funny ones, sad ones, brave ones. He said, "Then start today. Don't wait." She said, "But I'm not good." He laughed gently. "Me neither. I just kept writing." But inside, he made a promise. "I'll keep going. I won't stop." Because life was short, and he would not waste it again. He would write, he would speak, he would help, he would live. That night, he sat at his desk. A candle burned beside him. The room was quiet. He opened a new notebook and wrote, "Someone is waiting for your story. Someone is waiting for your light. Don't hide it." He looked out the window. The world was still turning. Time was still moving. But Jack was no longer afraid. He had found something. Not outside, but inside. Purpose. The days passed, then weeks, then months. Jack kept writing, he kept teaching, he kept walking in the morning, he drank tea at night, he spoke to his parents every day. His life was simple. But it was not empty. It was full of quiet strength, full of small, beautiful things. One morning, Jack got an email. It was from a local school. The message said, "We read your book. Would you like to speak to our students?" Jack stared at the screen. He felt nervous. He had never spoken to a crowd before. But he said, yes. He knew fear was not a reason to stop. He had learned this before. On the day of the event, Jack wore a clean shirt. His hands were shaking, his heart was loud. He walked into the school. The hall was big, many students, many eyes. Jack stood in front of the microphone. He looked around, then he spoke. At first, his voice was soft, but then stronger. He said, "I wasted years. I waited for the perfect time. But there is no perfect time. There is only now." He paused. "You don't have to be great to begin, but you have to begin to become great." He looked at the students. Some were quiet, some were nodding. He said, "Don't wait for life to find you. Go find it, create it, live it. One small step at a time." He finished speaking. There was silence. Then, claps. Then, cheers. Jack felt something inside him rise, courage, hope. He stayed after the talk. Some students came to him. A boy said, "I want to write stories too." A girl said, "Your story sounds like mine." One teacher came up to him and said, "Thank you. They needed this." Jack nodded. But inside, he whispered, "So did I." Later that night, Jack sat at his window again. He thought about fear. Fear used to control him. Jack smiled. He remembered his old self, lost, empty, waiting. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Thank you." Not to a person, but to life, for giving him a second chance. As the sun went down, Jack walked home. His phone buzzed again. Another message from Mina. She said, "I started writing too. I'm scared, but I'm doing it." Jack smiled. He replied, "You're not alone. I was scared too. Still am. But we write anyway." A few weeks later, something new happened. Jack was invited to speak on a podcast. They asked him to share his journey. He was nervous again, but he said yes. He told his story to thousands of listeners. He said, "We are not here forever. Time moves fast. But even slow steps can take you far if you keep walking." People listened. People shared his words. Jack didn't feel proud. He felt thankful, because the boy who once wasted time was now giving time to others. That night, he lit a candle again. He wrote in his notebook, "I'm not famous, I'm not perfect, but I'm helping, and that's enough." He sat in silence. The world outside was busy, but inside he was calm, and he knew he was not wasting his life anymore. He was building it, day by day, word by word. One cold morning, Jack got a letter. It came in the mail, not an email, not a message, a real letter on paper. He opened it slowly. It was from a girl named Lena. She wrote, "Dear Jack, your book saved my life. I was thinking of giving up, but your words stopped me. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on your dream, because now I won't give up on mine." Jack sat down. The letter shook in his hands. He didn't cry, but his heart did. He remembered his old self, sitting alone, tired, empty, afraid. And now his words were giving life to others. That night, Jack didn't write a story. He wrote a thank you list. He wrote, "Thank you, pain. You taught me to grow. Thank you, fear. You made me brave. Thank you, failure. You showed me the way. Thank you, silence. You gave me space to listen. Thank you, second chances. You gave me back my life." The next week, Jack went to a book event in another city. He stayed in a small hotel, ate simple food. He spoke to other writers. Some were younger, some were older. They talked about writing, about life, about time.
Waited for someone to say, "Go."
But the truth is, sometimes you have to tell yourself. You have to be your own permission. Once Jack came home, he walked through the old neighborhood. He saw a boy with headphones. Jack asked, "What are you listening to?" The boy said, "A podcast. There's this writer talking. His name is Jack something." Jack smiled. "Good podcast?" "Yeah," the boy said. "Makes you think about life." Jack nodded. He didn't say it was him. He just walked on, smiling. Sometimes you don't need people to know your name. You just need to light a candle. And someone somewhere will feel its warmth. At home, Jack cleaned his room. He looked at the old couch. He remembered the wasted days. Then he looked at his desk, full of notes, books, light. He whispered, "This is not the same life, and I am not the same man." Later that night, his phone buzzed again. This time it was Leo. Leo had news. "I got the job," Leo said, "at the community center, helping kids. I feel alive again." Jack smiled. He wrote back, "I'm proud of you. Keep going." Leo replied, "You showed me how." And Jack realized something. He wasn't just changing his life. He was becoming a path, a road, so others could walk too. He wasn't a star in the sky. He was a small light on the ground, but a light that helped others take one more step. And that was enough. That night, he opened his notebook again. He wrote, "The purpose of life is not to shine alone. It's to help others see their own light, so they can walk, so they can rise, so they can live." The wind was soft outside. The moon was full. Jack turned off the light. He lay in bed, not just tired, but full. full of something deeper than sleep. He was full of peace. It was a rainy day, gray skies, wet streets, cold air. Jack sat in a cafe, warm tea in his hands, a notebook on the table. He watched people outside, walking fast, heads down, everyone busy. He used to be like that, moving but going nowhere. Now he moved slowly, but with purpose. Every step mattered. Every word mattered. As he sipped his tea, he saw a young man come in. The man looked around, nervous. Then he saw Jack. He walked over. "Are you Jack?" he asked. Jack nodded. "Yes." The man sat down. "I'm sorry. I saw you speak once. I needed to talk." Jack smiled.
I wasted time chasing pleasure. I wasted time waiting for the right mood. But life doesn't wait for your mood. Life moves, and you must move with it. The room was quiet. He said, "You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be famous. But you do have to show up every day, even when no one claps, even when no one sees. Because your life is not a performance. It's a message." When he finished, the students stood. They clapped. They cried. They thanked him. But Jack didn't feel proud. He felt something better. He felt true. He felt honest. After the event, a professor came to him. "You have a gift," she said. "But more than that, you have a story." Jack replied, "We all do. We just have to stop hiding it." That night, he wrote again. His notebook now had many pages. He looked through them. Messy, real, full of life. He flipped to a new page and wrote, "This is not the end. This is the middle. The middle of becoming. The middle of building. The middle of the life I almost threw away." He stopped, looked out the window. The rain had stopped. The stars were back. And Jack was still becoming. The sun rose. Soft light touched the window. Jack opened his eyes. He was 30 now. 6 years had passed since that moment in the park. 6 years since he decided to stop wasting his life. Not all days were easy, but every day had meaning. This morning, Jack had something special to do. He was going to the city library, not to read, not to write, but for a special event. They were adding his book to the Young Authors Who Inspire section. His book, beside others who once inspired him. He walked slowly, step by step, grateful, calm, alive. At the library, he saw a small crowd. Children, parents, students, teachers. He stood near the shelf. The librarian held up his book. She smiled. "This book," she said, "was written by someone who once sat right here. Lost, afraid, unsure." She turned to Jack. "Would you like to say something?" Jack walked forward. He looked at the people. Then he looked at the children, and he said, "I don't come from a rich family. I didn't go to a big school. I failed many times. I wasted time. But then I made a choice." To the person reading this, don't wait. Don't sleep through your story. Don't waste the one life you've been given. Write it. Live it. One page at a time. Later that week, Jack got a message from Leo. Leo was now teaching full-time, helping teenagers with tough lives. Leo wrote, "You showed me it was possible. Now I'm showing them. We are passing the light." Jack smiled. He replied, "That's what it's about. Not being perfect, just being present and passing the light." At night, Jack sat with his parents. They laughed, they ate, they talked about the past, about small things, beautiful things. His father said, "I remember when you wouldn't get off the couch." Jack laughed. "I remember too." His mother said, "And now look at you." Jack looked at them. He didn't say anything, but inside, he said, "I'm still me, but now I'm awake." He went to his room, lit a candle, opened a new notebook. He smiled. The journey wasn't over. It was still beginning. Every day, every word, every small, quiet choice. And he wrote, "I don't need a perfect life. I just need a real one that helps others, one that grows slowly, one that keeps the light alive." Outside, the stars were shining. The world was still turning. Jack closed the notebook, he blew out the candle, and whispered, "Thank you." Not to anyone, just to life. Now listen. You may feel lost sometimes. You may feel like you're wasting time. But if you're still breathing, it's not too late. It's never too late to change. Never too late to grow. Never too late to write a new page. Your story matters. Your words matter. Your life matters. So don't waste it, live it, and help others live too. Moral for English learners. Every word you learn is a step forward. Every sentence you read is a small light. Don't wait to be perfect in English. Speak anyway. Write anyway. Try anyway. Because your voice matters in any language. Your story is waiting. Now, go live it. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs hope today. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, your life is your story. Don't waste it.